Ferrari's pre-season testing in Bahrain didn't go entirely according to plan, but there are strong indications that the Maranello squad has plenty hidden up its sleeve. As we wait for the season opener in Melbourne, rival teams have raised concerns that the SF25 might be holding back significant pace for the upcoming races. They believe Ferrari deliberately refrained from showcasing their true potential in Bahrain. While all teams engage in sandbagging to some extent, suspicions are growing that Ferrari took this strategy to another level. With that in mind, will we witness a dominant Ferrari performance in Australia? Or was Bahrain showing a true representation of their actual speed? Leclerc and Hamilton are well aware that pre-season testing is not the time to reveal everything. The last thing any team wants is to showcase a dominant car too early, potentially giving their rivals a head start in making adjustments. That's the essence of sandbagging. Teams deliberately hold back to keep their real strength concealed. It's a known tactic, and Bahrain was no exception. But some teams suspect Ferrari may have exaggerated this approach, which could shake up the pecking order. Heading into testing, Ferrari was expected to be among the top contenders, projected as either the fastest or second fastest team. This assumption was based on the developments over recent months, including Hamilton's much-anticipated move to the team. However, Bahrain's test results didn't fully live up to the hype, at least not in the way McLaren's did. Instead, Ferrari found itself in the same category as Red Bull and Mercedes, rather than standing out ahead of the pack. Interestingly, while Red Bull and Mercedes voiced concerns about their car's development, Ferrari seemed entirely at ease following the three-day test. Team principal Frédéric Vasseur was adamant that Ferrari gathered all the necessary data and was heading into Melbourne with confidence. However, Leclerc took a more cautious stance. He avoided making definitive claims about the car's speed, suggesting instead that there was still work to be done before Ferrari could truly challenge McLaren at the front. This kind of restrained optimism only adds to speculation that Ferrari is playing its cards close to the chest. After all, no team would openly admit to sandbagging, but the first race in Melbourne will reveal the real picture. When asked about the SF25, Leclerc said, "I'd rather wait before making any bold claims about our speed. We'll only get a true sense of our position in Melbourne when we have optimal conditions to extract the car's full potential. During testing, we struggled a bit with balance." Indeed, the second and third days of testing weren't ideal for Ferrari. Increased tire degradation impacted Hamilton's race pace simulation, and tricky track conditions made things even more challenging. But despite these setbacks, Ferrari remained unshaken. Reports from Maranello suggest that there were no unexpected issues. Everything they've analyzed over the past few months appears to be aligning with on-track performance, reinforcing the belief that their Bahrain test was not about chasing outright speed. This growing confidence within the team is reflected in Vasseur's statements. He firmly believes Ferrari has one of the best cars on the grid heading into Australia. Explaining further, he noted, "With the suspension changes, we've unlocked a new development path. After a few years, it was necessary to make adjustments, and so far, the results are promising. I'm not referring to outright performance, but the numbers are encouraging. Are we in the fight for victory in Melbourne? Honestly, it's too soon to tell. The extreme conditions in Bahrain make it difficult to get a clear picture. From one session to another, everything changes. We also don't know the fuel levels of our rivals, making it even harder to interpret results." Another key factor to consider is the Bahrain circuit itself. It doesn't necessarily favor Ferrari's new concept for the SF25. The track's rear-limited nature has historically not suited Ferrari, and while the introduction of a pull rod suspension doesn't automatically translate to a more aggressive front end, it does align better with circuits requiring such a setup. Melbourne, for instance, is a much better fit for the SF25's characteristics, and this is where Ferrari is expected to shine. But will they truly meet the expectations that fans and analysts have built up over the winter? Ferrari's work isn't stopping with preseason testing. The team is now in Maranello for a 3-day simulator program, focused on understanding the intricacies of the Melbourne circuit. Both drivers have a packed schedule ahead, combining simulator work with off-track commitments such as sponsor events. One of Ferrari's main areas of focus is optimizing the rear-end stability without compromising the front-end performance. Melbourne will provide crucial insights into tire behavior, particularly front-end graining. The team has also introduced a new rear wing concept featuring a more pronounced spoon shape, which will be utilized on medium-load tracks. According to Vasseur, this development has expanded the SF25's operating window, a key objective heading into the season. However, some rival teams, particularly Red Bull, have pointed out that a wider operating window isn't always advantageous. They argue that it could reduce the likelihood of finding an optimal setup for peak performance. At the same time, a more adaptable car could prove beneficial under varying conditions, making it less vulnerable to unpredictable factors such as temperature fluctuations. One of Ferrari's biggest sources of optimism comes from Hamilton himself. The seven-time world champion has been vocal about his ambitions, making it clear that his sole focus is fighting for the championship. While some initially doubted his ability to adapt quickly to Ferrari's environment, Hamilton has rapidly settled in and even described the SF25 as one of the best cars he's driven in recent years. Considering his struggles with Mercedes in the past few seasons, this is a significant statement. Despite being several seconds off Leclerc's pace in Ferrari's TPC testing, Hamilton remains upbeat. Reflecting on his experience so far, Hamilton said, "It's still early, but I'm really enjoying the car. We're gradually building that connection. Right now, I'm not making setup adjustments or pushing in any particular direction. I'm just going through the process. I'm getting to know my engineer, and so far, it's been a really enjoyable experience. There's still more to explore, and I'm taking it one step at a time. The car likes to be driven a certain way, and I'm learning that through each run. For now, I can definitely say that I feel the car underneath me, and I can sense how it responds to my inputs. Today was a positive step, and every adjustment we make helps us move forward. But there's still work to be done." Cautious optimism seems to be the best way to describe Ferrari's approach to Melbourne. But what's becoming increasingly clear is that the team has more performance yet to be revealed. Will it be enough to justify suspicions that they sandbagged? So what do you think? Did Ferrari play a bigger sandbagging game than expected in Bahrain? And more importantly, will they set the tone for the championship once the season officially begins? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're interested in the FIA's recent action against Ferrari and McLaren's rear wings, be sure to check out the video appearing on your screen now.